Few sponsorships in Formula One have ever burned out as strangely and as fast as the Haas F1 team and Rich Energy deal. From confident business owners, court cases, and social media statements, this is when Rich Energy came to Formula One. Rich Energy started in 2015 as an energy drinks company to rival Red Bull, founded by William Storey. It entered Formula One circles in 2018 as a potential buyer when Force India went into administration, offering supposedly £30 million for the team. This offer was rejected as it was not seen to help the team.
We are, without actually specifically outlining what our plans are, I can tell you that we want to be in Formula One. We've got the money to do so, we've got the business model and the business plan and the reasons to do it. Clearly, having spent 6 months working on Force India, we're not going to relinquish that overnight.
Rich Energy then turned their attention to the Williams team at the US Grand Prix that same year, with a deal close to being finalised. According to ESPN, it is understood Claire Williams and several senior team members were left waiting for Storey at an Austin restaurant on the evening of the race to finalise the terms of their deal. He never showed up. Instead, Storey made a deal with the Haas team to be their title sponsor, getting it done just 4 days later after the supposed Williams deal was nearly done. It was a surprising move, and there were concerns as to whether the team had done its due diligence on their new sponsor. When asked about this, team boss Gunther Steiner responded, "We did what we need to do. We needed to do it before we met him. Why do you doubt that? Obviously, we did what we needed to do, and our legal advisors were content with that." At the time, Rich Energy had been running for 3 years, but their cans weren't easy to come by, not even in their base country, the UK. Storey seemed to be enjoying the attention, though. "Ultimately, we've just produced 90 million cans. As far as I'm concerned, anyone who say it doesn't exist is like saying man never walked on the moon or Elvis is still alive. It's just fantasy." At the team launch, the car was unveiled with a black and gold livery, a big departure from the grey, red and white scheme Haas had favoured to promote the automation business. Storey was a prominent figure next to Steiner and wasn't short of confidence.
We're absolutely delighted. I mean, we think that Haas are, absolutely our favourite team on the grid. They're brilliant people, and they're the perfect partner for Rich Energy as we move forward to take Red Bull and challenge Red Bull on and off the track.
During the first day of testing, Romain Grosjean posted the third fastest time of the day, leading Storey to post a tweet taking a dig at rivals Red Bull. This wouldn't be the only time this year. In April, the first signs of trouble emerged when Rich Energy was sued by Whyte bikes for copyright infringement over their logo. Even in the run-up to the court case, Storey was bullish on social media. Rich Energy lost their case, and in the judge's ruling it noted that, "I did not accept either Mr. Storey or Mr. Kelly as credible or reliant witnesses, and I treat all of their evidence with a high degree of caution. I am satisfied on the balance of probabilities that both Mr. Kelly and Mr. Storey have lied about not being familiar with C's device, Whyte's logo. I find it more likely than not they were familiar with it, and they directly and knowingly copied C's device in designing D1's device, Rich Energy's logo." Another interesting point to come out of the ruling was around Storey's earlier claim regarding 90 million cans. Mr. Storey explained that it had produced 90 million cans but had not filled and sold them. He said he would have to check the figures, but in 2018 he thought the first defendant had filled and sold circa 3 million cans. Rich Energy were ordered to pay Whyte's legal costs of £36,000 by July the 11th. They were also asked to turn over all their financials regarding their drinks and the Haas F1 team. Before the Canadian Grand Prix in June, Rich Energy asked Haas to remove the stag logo from their cars. Steiner said at the time, "We don't have a problem with the logo, Rich Energy has a problem with the logo, so I don't know if they need to change it or if there is another solution." On the Wednesday before Silverstone, Rich Energy tweeted, "Today Rich Energy terminated our contract with Haas F1 team for poor performance. We aim to beat Red Bull Racing, and being behind Williams Racing in Austria is unacceptable. The politics and PC attitude in F1 is also inhibiting our business. We wish the team well." Note the date of this tweet as the day before the deadline. Rich Energy was due to pay £36,000 to Whyte Bikes, and around the time a second £6 million instalment due to the Haas F1 team. A statement came shortly from the Rich Energy shareholders. "We wholeheartedly believe in the Haas F1 team, its performance and the organisation as a whole, and we are fully committed to the current sponsorship agreement in place. We also completely believe in the product of Formula One and the platform it offers our brand. Clearly, the rogue actions of one individual have caused great embarrassment. We're in the process of legally removing the individual from all executive responsibilities. They may speak for themselves, but their views are not of those of the company. The shareholders had the keys to the company, but Story still controlled the social media accounts, and a reply followed. Rich Energy CEO William Story has commented, "The ludicrous statement by minority shareholders cozy with Red Bull and Whyte bikes is risible. Their attempted palace coup has failed. I control all of the assets of Rich Energy and have support of all key stakeholders." Reacting to the news, Steiner said, "I would like to tell you more, I cannot. There's a commercial agreement in place and I don't want to do anything here about it. This is what is happening and we go from there." Even after the Silverstone race where the two Haas cars collided, Story continued to post about the team on the Rich Energy social media account. Company's House showed a revolving door of people taking turns running the company, offices changing, and even a name change. Story announced he had sold his majority stake in the company in disgust at conduct of duplicitous minority stakeholders. After Silverstone, there were still questions as to what was going on with the sponsorship deal. When asked about the situation, Steiner said, "You will all see if it's not on the car, the sponsorship deal, doesn't continue. If it is, it continues." In August, Story was restored to director of Rich Energy, his short-term successors removed. The internal battle for power over the company seemed over. Following the Italian Grand Prix, Haas severed all ties with Rich Energy. They published the following statement: "Haas F1 team and Rich Energy have amicably agreed to end their partnership together in the FIA Formula One World Championship with immediate effect. While enjoying substantial brand recognition and significant exposure through its title partnership of Haas F1 team in 2019, a corporate restructuring process at Rich Energy will see the need for a revised global strategy." Subsequently, Haas F1 team and Rich Energy concluded a termination of the existing partnership was the best way forward for both parties. Haas F1 team would like to express its thanks and best wishes to the stakeholders at Rich Energy. Here ended one of Formula One's strangest sponsorships. It's quite miraculous the sponsorship went through, considering in the court ruling with Whyte Bikes, Story estimated Rich Energy had sold around 3 million cans. The money made from this is nowhere near an amount to sponsor a Formula One team at title sponsor level, or even to buy a team as they had tried with Force India, so one could argue what due diligence did Haas do? Haas progressed with their season whilst Rich Energy kept posting about them on social media. The following year, Haas went back to the old colour scheme and Rich Energy continued to post about joining Formula One, and still does. See you on the next lap.